Awesome. We can go ahead and get started. Just give me the thumbs up when you're ready. Cool. I call this Community Development Committee meeting to order. The time is now 2:02, and we'll just open up with an invocation. Father God, we just come before you today. Again, just thanking you, number one, for this beautiful weather that we have. And then also, God, just thank you for this time that we have to just be a blessing to our city. We thank you that you endow us with wisdom, that you give us your guidance, and that we do everything in our power and our influence to ensure that we represent the interests of those who are in this city and that we improve this city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. So, Counselor Abbott, you have the minutes. Yes, if you. Awesome. I second that. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. And so now we'll move on to our agenda. Mr. Glover, it's your show, sir. So I'll let you take it away.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Glover. I serve as Chief Condemnation Demolition Coordinator. And we'll begin with item 1.
Okay.
A request for the Community Development Committee to review property that has 0 voided repair permits. 216 78th Street South on January 29, 2024. Eric Christian, care of Simon Siren and John Waits. 7753 First Avenue South, Birmingham, Alabama 35206. Submitted an application for a special repair permit. This property was condemned by City Council on August 29, 2023. And also item number 2
is also attached to it as well.
Yes, sir.
So we can read both of those at the same time.
Okay. Item number 2, a request for the Community Development Committee to review property that has 0 voided repair permits. 7768 3rd Avenue South on January 29, 2024. Eric Christian, care of Simon Siren and John Waits. 7753 First Avenue South, Birmingham, Alabama 35206. Submitted an application for a special repair permit. This property was condemned by City Council on August 29, 2023.
All right. Is the applicant in attendance? Please state your name and give us give us your vision.
Last time we were here, Terry Slaughter and I, we didn't have a formal agreement that we were doing a joint venture with Johnny Waits, but Mr. Glover is handing that out. So we have a signed joint venture agreement now with Dr. Waits to do what we were proposing last time, to renovate that whole property, as we mentioned before. But I also have a breakdown of cost to get the property cleaned up, get the cars out of there, landscaped, all those bays cleaned out. So at the end, I do have like a little estimate about how much that will cost, and needing a little bit of time there's someone unfortunately living in the little RV camper on the property. So I need a little bit of time for the legal part to evict him. So I am asking a little bit of time, a couple of weeks for that, to try to help on the legal part.
Mr. Glover, and I don't know if we have had to deal with situations such as that before, where there's somebody who's unsheltered that is on the property, and for them to be vacated, would there be an allowance of extra time for a situation such as that?
Well, it'll be 2 weeks before, approximately 2 weeks before considering this will have to be approved by city council. And then it'll have that 10 days to come in and pick up the permit if it's approved.
Got it.
So that in itself will be 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
So,
And then I guess my follow-up, is the joint venture agreement, suffice?
I haven't reviewed it yet. I've just seen it. Because I was hoping to speak with Mr. Waits, just for my personal, to hear from him after speaking with him before. Like I said, I haven't heard from Mr. Waits at all.
Got you.
So that's what I was hoping to speak to him at this meeting today. So I can get a clear understanding of what this joint venture means and who is what and what is allowed and what is not allowed. So I can look at this, but just looking at it, I don't see where it has been recorded or is considered a legal document. So, okay. All right.
I see that it's been notarized, by Eric Joseph Christian, Notary Public. And like I said, I just want to make sure that, you know, it's been vetted through, you all's office first.
Should it be taken to the legal department and have?
Yeah, we would, yeah, I would suggest reviewing this document first before we authorize them to obtain a permit.
Okay. And so how long, or like, would that be something that you would take to them, to the legal department?
I would take this document, explain to them what we're trying to do, and they would advise me on it.
Okay. Counselor Abbott, did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I was just curious. I don't, in the photographs that we have, I don't see any vehicles. Are they inside the building, or are they in the yard, or?
They're in our parking lot, so it's 2 abandoned cars and a RV trailer.
Okay, and the trailer is the kind you pull behind a vehicle,
It's a motor home,
but it doesn't run, or the guy just won't leave?
won't leave. And I don't know if it runs or not, but he won't leave. I've went and asked and he refused.
So now you've got an attorney, or how are you gonna get rid of him?
I do have an attorney, but I just didn't want to proceed until this was,
So,
Yeah, I mean, what I'm thinking is, you know, court proceedings often take forever. And so I was interested in, you know, to me, 2 weeks to evict somebody from your property seems like a short time. So if we approved it today and you only had 2 weeks to get him out of there, I don't know. So, I mean, I've never had to do that, so I'm just concerned, do you have to get rid of him before you can start working on the property? Or you just want to get him out of there before you can start work?
a large portion of the nuisance is that, especially from the neighbors.
Okay, so-
Me being a neighbor, that's a lot of the debris and trash and extra stuff is there on his stuff.
Oh, well, I know about that. We have lots of those people in my neighborhood, and they don't have garbage cans, and I guess we didn't give them a uniform garbage cart when we were giving them out, and so they just throw everything all over the neighborhood.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I can relate. But I was just trying to figure out the time that it will take. I know you don't want to start spending money on somebody else's property if this document isn't enough. But I would hope that somebody in our legal department could look at it and say, this is sufficient for us to move ahead, or it's not sufficient for us to move ahead. I mean, I'm fine with moving ahead, it's just that we don't know whether we've got what we need yet.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
So, would it be appropriate to delay this again to our next meeting? Because, We can't do it today.
Yeah, it would, and I kind of wanted to go back to the individual who's on the property. And it sounds like if Mr. Waite, is it Waite?
Dr. Waite, Johnny Waits.
Yeah, Waite. If he was to come, I know that as the owner of the property, he would be able to have a police officer to come and, you know, say that somebody is trespassing on his private property, since he is the owner. I think that's normally how that is able to work, and he's able to, you know, kind of get them out of here under that 2 week.
I'm not
period.
trying to throw anyone under the bus, but we have done that, and the police will not do anything.
Even with the property
Property
owner?
owner.
Correct. Dr. Waits has called and met the police out there 3 times, and because he's living in an RV, the officer says that's his place of residence, so we would have to legally evict him. That's coming from Birmingham cops.
You have a friend with a tow truck?
They will not come either, I'm called.
I was just kidding.
I do,
about
though,
to say.
but
Council, what you doing?
Well, actually, we had a neighborhood president who used to hire tow trucks to take cars out of his neighborhood that were junk cars that no one would move, and the
What's
guy
the name
with
of
the
that
tow
company?
the guy with the tow truck would just come in the middle of the night, but none of us knew that.
Right.
Okay, well.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, my motion is to delay this till our next meeting to ascertain that the joint venture agreement is the kind of legal document we need in order to proceed with giving a repair permit.
I second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And so, we'll delay it until our next meeting, which will actually be 2 weeks from now.
be 2 weeks?
Yeah, so.
Okay.
It's bi-weekly.
Okay,
Yeah, so not next week, but the week after.
perfect.
And so just work with Mr. Glover to make sure that gets to our legal department so that they can verify everything. And then once that's done, then
We can move forward.
we're good to go.
Would it help if I get a?
All right.
That is weird. That is weird.
Very. So very. Let's see. And so we'll go ahead and move on to item 3. We'll go ahead and move on to item 3.
Item number 3, a request for the Community Development Committee to review property that has 0 voided repair permits, 2331 34th Avenue North, on March 11, 2024, Thomas Nelson Murray III, 5011 43rd Place North, Birmingham, Alabama, 35217, submitted an application for a special repair permit. The property was condemned by City Council on February 6, 2024.
All right. Do we have the applicant here today? No.
I move that we delay item 3 unless Mr. Murray shows up before the meeting's over.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Item 4.
Item number 4, a request for the Community Development Committee to review property that has 0 voided repair permits, 614 4th Street North on March 12, 2024, Powell and Patriot LLC, 7810 Gall Boulevard, Suite 248, Zephyr Hills, Florida, 33541, submitting an application for a special repair permit. This property was condemned by City Council on February 27, 2024.
Okay. Is the applicant present?
These guys don't want this very
guess
badly,
not.
do they?
I move for a delay until the next meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item number 5. This is good.
Item number 5, a request for the Community Development Committee to review property that has 0 voided repair permits, 9147 Parkway East, on March 12, 2024, TC Investments LLC, 1206 13th Street, Pleasant Grove, Alabama 35127, submitted an application for a special repair permit. This property was condemned by City Council on March 26, 2024.
Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Please state your name and, tell us what we're doing here.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Kevin Zhang. We tried to do a rooftop repair because it's been condemned and collapsed.
All right, and are you the owner of this
Yes.
property? All right. Just looking at it, it's definitely one of the better properties that we've seen. Councilor Abbott, did you have any questions?
I'm still looking for the. Good, thanks. So, the roof caved in because of,
I think it's just like the structure been collapsed over the time, and then the storm and stuff made it worse. So we do have to replace the whole rooftop.
can't even tell from the outside. Okay, I'm good.
All right. I move for approval.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right,
Thank you.
that one looked hopeful.
you're all right. Item number 6, Mr. Roger Globe.
Good afternoon. My name is Roger Glover, and I serve as the subdivision planner for the city of Birmingham. Item number 6 is a request for approval of a final plat dedicating right-of-way called Lane Park at Cahaba Road right-of-way dedication subdivision. And it is case SUB 2024, case number 14 at 2630 Cahaba Road. And
Okay,
I do have, if you do have questions concerning this project, you do have a representative here.
all right. And come up and state your name and tell us what we're doing here.
My name is Nathan Curry. I work with Sane Associates, and we are a civil engineering design firm. And so the right-of-way dedication you see here, so this is associated with a project. It's a roadway improvement project. It is, I guess, the city of Mountain Brook is the primary sponsor of this, but it has ALDOT funds, and then the city of Birmingham is a partner on the project also. So the funding is 80% ALDOT, 10% Mountain Brook, and then 10% Birmingham. So the proposed plan here is an intersection improvement. This is kind of the 5-legged intersection over where you get off the 280 ramps, right there near Mountain Brook Village, Lane Park. I guess you have the Botanical Gardens there, and you have the zoo. And so the proposed design there is a roundabout. It's more of a gateway kind of entrance to both cities there. There'll be landscaping associated with the work, road improvements, new lighting, sidewalk. You know, I have design plans for the project here also, and those are 95% complete, just pending like final approval. And so now we're trying to resolve any outstanding right-of-way issues for the project. So this is we've had conversation with the city along the way on this and tried to address, you know, the amount of right-of-way that's being dedicated, minimize that where we can. And so now this is in front of you for, I guess, approval or any comments or questions you have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is in my district, and this is, the drawing that has the red on it.
Okay.
So that's part of the right-of-way. The roundabout obviously is not shown on these plans, so it doesn't exist yet, right? That's what you're working on, the design? and-
That's correct. So
Good.
ALDOT will be letting the project to construction to get a contractor on board. And before they move to that point, they want a certification, in this case for Mountain Brook, because they're the primary sponsor, saying all the right-of-way needed for the project is acquired. And so Mountain Brook has acquired any right-of-way on because the project really straddles the city limits there. So they have acquired any right-of-way needed on their side, and this would resolve the right-of-way needed on the Birmingham side. And so you may have heard about this some in the past. The project's kind of been a long time coming. It was planned for a while, and then some of COVID impacts, adjacent development slowed things down. County has some sewer work going on. So some of the conversations to determine what right-of-way would be necessary took place a long time ago, but now it's kind of at that final stage to get that dedicated.
Okay, and the yellow part is temporary easement. So that's just,
That is correct. And I was communicating with the city some today, some of the, I guess, the capital department's project on how to handle that. So we've prepared a deed that would have to be signed, that they've asked us to kind of, we're getting some final feedback on what format they want that in for the city to sign that. But that's just a temporary easement. So it would give the contractor the ability to do work there. But once that work is done, it remains part of the zoo, botanical gardens area there. And a lot of that work there is grading, there's landscaping, some trees. The Birmingham Zoo would replace their sign. They would have to move their sign off the corner, and they are working on plans to construct a new sign right there, kind of at the entry. So then ultimately you'll end up with, the gardens has recently constructed a new sign, and the zoo will have a new sign, and you'll have a landscaped entry with a kind of a landscaped central island, similar to what's in front of the zoo entrance today. It'll just be slightly larger than that.
okay, and are y'all having to check to make sure no one is buried under there?
Yes, and there has been an extensive amount of work that's gone into that, and there was actually, we had a cultural resources specialist that's been involved and looked at that, done some reporting on it. We actually used ground penetrating radar, cleared some of the underbrush, checked those areas. They actually did some, like a phase 2 environmental exploration, dug into some of the areas that were concerning. They ultimately were voids from probably old trees that had fallen over, so nothing's been discovered. So we've done as much investigation as like an archaeologist recommends, but at the time that the project moves forward, there would be, for the initial kind of clearing and grubbing there on the corner, one of the environmental commitments that ALDOT required of the project was that an archaeologist be kind of on site and available if anything is discovered. But, the best investigation we can do so far, we don't anticipate anything. But that was a concern, yes.
Yeah, well, it's a concern all over that
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
Okay, those are my only questions. I'm glad to see that the project is finally moving.
We're
I thought
excited to be
maybe I
there.
would be gone by the time, it got done. So,
Hopefully it has led to construction in June or July because of restrictions related to potential bat roosting habitat. They wouldn't actually clear the trees until the fall, probably October or November. So that's when hopefully you'll see some more significant work going on that corner.
well, we do have a shortage of bats, and so we need to keep all of them that we can.
We'll do our best.
Thank you. Those
Yeah.
are all my questions.
Awesome. Yeah, I know, got a chance to take my family to the Botanical Gardens not too long ago and was riding along that area, and curious as to what was going on. And so,
There's been a lot of different projects underway, and currently it's a new sewer going in the ground, not associated with this. So this kind of has the unfortunate opportunity to be the last in a line of projects. So
right,
it will
Well, at
last a
least
while.
you're not digging up the sewer that they just put in. So.
Yes.
right. Okay, well, I move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That item passes.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. Item 7.
Item number 7, a request for approval of a final plat resurvey and acreage in the 2 lots and a dedication of right-of-way called Grand River Parcel 7, Phase 2, which is subdivision 2024, case number 82, 5955 Barber Motorsports Parkway. And we do have the engineer, or Mr. Clark? here if you have any questions regarding this case.
Yeah, Mr. Clark, come on up. And just tell us a little bit about what we're doing here.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mark Clark with Shoal Engineering. What we're doing here is this is just some acreage parcels that are right off of Barber's Motorsports Parkway. It's directly north of where the future Museum of Flight's going to go. And they're just subdividing that acreage into two platted lots for development. And then Innovation Way is, they're looking to dedicate that right away.
So is Innovation Way coming in between where the Southern Museum of Flight will be and the rest of
Yes,
Barber's
that is
property?
correct.
Okay. Got you. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, I just wondered, it's not really relevant, but is this speculative, or are there some businesses that want to occupy these two lots?
Well, the 7.8, I think USS is, got some kind of deal going to sell the property. That lot, the 7.1 lot, I think it's just being created because of just the configuration, how it ties back into Barber's Motorsports.
Okay, thank you.
Got you.
Well, I move approval.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank y'all.
You have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last but definitely not least, we have a presentation from the Birmingham Realtors Association, Mr. Justin Williams, who serves as president. So we're glad to have you, sir.
Thank you all for having me. So again, I'm Justin Williams. I'm the president of the Birmingham Realtors Association. And we actually just wanted to kind of come and converse with you all in regards to doing joint home buyer or real estate education opportunities in each one of your districts. So our organization consists of Black real estate professionals from all spectrums of the real estate industry. So not just real estate agents, but loan officers, appraisers, developers, contractors, landscapers, surveyors, the full gambit of real estate professionals. And with that organization, our motto is democracy in housing, and our mission is increasing Black home ownership. So I understand a lot of the things that are happening in the city at the moment in regards to the down payment assistance and the Land Bank Authority's initiative with their programming and all of those things. But we want to also to make sure that we're able to equip the residents and the employees to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. And we would like to partner with you all as the council to be able to deliver those educational opportunities in each one of your districts. So what those opportunities would potentially look like would be not just traditional home buying seminars, because we do have partners like Neighborhood Housing Services or Operation Hope and people of that nature that do provide those levels of education, but also things around home ownership, maintaining. So now that I'm a homeowner, how do I maximize on the equity of my home? How do I make sure I'm able to maintain this home so I can achieve maximum appreciation over time? For people that are interested in investing in real estate, so I understand we have several vacant lots and things of that nature, a lot of the proposals that have come before us today. How do we equip residents to be able to take advantage of opportunities like that as well? And for those who want to purchase a home, how do I get myself prepared in order to be able to purchase a home and all of those things? Our goal would be to really get into the 99 neighborhoods so we can truly infiltrate the city of Birmingham. But that is a pretty daunting task, trying to reach 99 specific places. But it does allow us to be able to eat the elephant in a much easier way by partnering with each 9 of you all to be able to offer something in your district that maybe could invite those residents of those 99 neighborhoods in your district to those educational opportunities, just so we can make sure that we're informing them with all of the things that they need to be necessary to take advantage of different opportunities that are before them. So that's specifically what our proposal is, to partner with you all on those specific events. And then I guess as you all discuss those things and as we have an opportunity to engage more in conversation, we can kind of delve into what the actual details of each event will look like in your districts.
Got you. And I guess for you, you just want to make sure that, you know, we're able to partner with you all to both share the information with our residents and I guess possibly even find like a good location for these different meetings to be held?
Right, so I know the city has access to the different community centers that are in a lot of the different neighborhoods. And of course, I know we could specifically go to those particular areas and offer these seminars as well. But I think it speaks volumes by having the counselor's face on it in regards to this is what the counselor is trying to push for my district in regards to making sure that my residents were prepared for home ownership and taking advantage of the different opportunities that are available. And it also helps us to be able to reach those neighborhood presidents because I understand that you all have a more detailed and better relationship with them than we do. So we would kind of be coming in as a cold call versus you all would be able to connect us as more of a warm handoff. And that would allow us to be able to not only engage with them, but the residents and with you all as well, maybe around initiatives that you may personally have for your districts. We just want to be able to kind of be some of the legs and feet to help you all execute maybe the visions that you have for your districts in regards to home ownership and real estate.
Okay. Councilor Abbott?
Well, so my question would be, have you surveyed each of our districts to determine where the people are that need these kind of services? Because my district is built out. I mean, I'm sure there's some vacant lots somewhere, but there are not a whole lot of them. So what we're trying to do is figure out how to get the people that own all these vacant houses that are just sitting there to sell them to somebody or rent them to somebody so that they will be occupied houses, because we have a lot of nice but empty houses with nobody living in them. And until we got the census data, we didn't know we had so many empty houses. And we're trying to figure out, what are people doing with these? I mean, an empty house is an expense. You would think that people wouldn't want to sit on them while they're empty. So, but I guess my question would be, do y'all know the areas so that you know where people are who need your seminars?
Yes, ma'am. So one of the beautiful parts about our organization is we do service the entire Birmingham Metro. However, many of our members are fully based in Birmingham in regards to working with homeowners or home buyers on an everyday basis. So with that, we also have that kind of dynamic of working in the community on a regular basis and having an understanding of what's happening there and who are some of the homeowners or who are the people that are potentially looking to move into those neighborhoods. But as well, last November and again on April the 13th of this year, we're going to be hosting the Building Black Wealth Tour at the Star Church with Dr. Thomas Beavers. And through that program, last year we had at least 1,000 people to register to attend. And we had about 700 or 800 of those people to actually show up in the cold and rain to gather information around some of the things that we're talking about right now, which does encompass like air property. So there is a conversation around what to do with property that you've inherited, but you may not have proper documentation and things of that nature. So that's why I mentioned it would not necessarily be strictly a home buyer seminar, but more so information geared towards what's needed in that particular district and how can we assist with delivering that information and helping those people be able to navigate through whatever their potential needs are.
Well, air property is not my problem, but vacant property,
Right.
I mean, that's a big problem. But I don't know what you do about it, because you have to find the owner and talk them into selling it or talk them into renting it. So.
Yeah, and of course, I know, you can't always make someone sell or rent or anything like that, but I do think by us being able maybe to identify some of those properties, and of course we have, as real estate agents, we have means to be able to potentially gather people's information. So with that, potentially having a conversation with those individuals and letting them know what's happening in the area. Some people may be holding it just because they are thinking that there's some appreciation in the future and they want to kind of ride it out, or some people are just holding it because they really don't know what to do. They may be a little bit overwhelmed with it and they're just kind of holding on to it, not really knowing how to move forward. So I do think by being able to possibly identify those people and connecting with them, we probably could get a better understanding of what they need and maybe what their plan of action would be in order to help them move along that path.
So also, I was interested in what kind of means of outreach you have to people. Like, how do you advertise your services that you can provide? How's the average person going to find out?
Yes, ma'am. So we have a lot of media relationships. So actually, as of yesterday, we were able to air a segment on Fox News yesterday at 4 p.m. in regards to what happened with the down payment assistance. And that was just at 11 o'clock that morning. So we do have a lot of media relationships with some of our local newspapers, with some of our television stations, with many of our radio stations. So we typically use a lot of those means. We have a really big following on social media internally with our organization, as well as through some other partnerships of community organizations as well to be able to spread the word. And then, like I said earlier, we have real estate professionals from all over the city. So not only are we able to leverage their voices, but the brokerages that they're with and all of those things to be able to disseminate information as well to the community.
Good. So the next question is the trick question. Explain to me the difference between a realtor and a realtist.
Absolutely. So a realtor is just simply a person that's a member of the National Association of Realtors. A realtist is a person that's a member of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. The profession is actually a real estate agent or a mortgage lender or an investor or whatever the case may be. But a real estate agent can elect not to be a member of the National Association of Realtors, just like they can elect to be a member of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. So there's no fundamental difference in what we can actually do. There are some code of ethics things and just proper means of kind of navigating through the day-to-day actions with clientele and things like that. So there's like maybe a little bit higher standard of expectancy from people who are parts of these organizations. But yes, ma'am, simply those are just individuals who've decided to join those organizations.
Okay, I don't buy and sell a lot of houses, so I
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know about
yeah,
these
many
things,
people, many people are not, they're not privy to the information in regards to what's the difference between just a realtor or a real estate agent or anything like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, now I will say I'm excited about the work that you all are doing. I know when you all did the Black Wealth tour, you had a lot of people to come out, participate, and so hopefully there's still some folks that were able to participate in those events that still will continue to work with you all as you navigate through each and every district in the city of Birmingham. I think to Councilor Abbott's point, about vacancies and just being able to have folks to occupy space. This comes at such a great time because we need to make sure that we are equipping citizens with those tools to be homeowners and to take away some of the fear that some folks may have about owning a home and managing a home, because we just have so many vacancies. I know in my district for sure, the Inglenook neighborhood, I would love for folks to move in and create community there, or Northeast Lake or Kingston or any of these areas, because there are a lot of land bank opportunities, but just to be able to have folks to live next door to each other, have their own home, and really get back to building a neighborhood. I think that, this is a very vital tool to doing that. And so just want to thank you all for the work that you all are doing.
Thank you.
And educating folks. And so I guess you all will reach out to individual counselors to just kind of make those initial touches in terms of when you all are ready to get started and kind of letting us know so that we can also do our part to share that information with our constituents.
Okay. Do you all recommend that we kind of target each counselor individually, or is there an opportunity for us to get in front of each one of you together, so therefore all the information is shared at one time?
So I think that this committee,
would probably be a good thing, because all of the members are supposed to be there.
right?
And that way you'd get all of us at one time. And, I think committee of the whole would probably be the way to go. Because I feel sure that every council member will be interested in anything that can help them to help people to understand home ownership, because home maintenance, my goodness, if you don't do home maintenance, you lose your investment. So you can't just let it go, but a lot of people do.
Right.
Right now, I'm one of those people. I need a painter. But, you know, home maintenance is an ongoing thing. You don't buy a house and it just stays looking great forever. You know, things start happening. Roofs happen, gutters happen, paint happens, you know. So you got to stay on top of all of it unless you buy a concrete block house with a metal roof.
Right. But then I think, you know, also just being able to educate people that this is not just a place for you to live. This could actually serve as your bank, your own personal bank. And so you talked about the equity piece and how that could, you know, possibly be used as a way to, you know, maintain your home. And so I think, you know, just the educational piece is definitely going to be, you know, pivotal. But yeah, committee of the whole, as Councilor Abbott said, would be the best way to get in front of all the counselors. And I want to say that's every third Tuesday. Am I correct?
It seems like it's more often than that. But,
Yeah,
but it's supposed to be once a month, I think.
right. So it's once a month on a Tuesday. And so Councilor or President O'Quinn will be the person that we can get you in touch with
Okay.
to make that happen. So yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you all
and
so much for your
certainly
time.
we can all share the contact information for our neighborhood presidents, because I would think that members of your organization might want to be the featured speaker at somebody's meeting to, you know, explain
Yes, ma'am.
what it is that y'all are planning on doing and get some, you know, enthusiasm going there. So be well attended.
And that would be great. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
And
much.
like in my district, we don't have any community centers. We got left out. So we would have to find a church or a library or some place, other kind of place to have a meeting,
Okay.
because we have a shortage of community centers.
Right.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time and your
President
attention.
Williams, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Last thing, just had one announcement. So I did get a chance to attend the Park and Recreation Board meeting today, and wanted to just kind of share some updates from that meeting that took place today. So I think when I first got on the Park and Recreation Board, one of my first meetings there, I was met with some residents who came before us and kind of shared their love for the city, but their genuine concern about the Magic City Classic and their experience there. They talked about, you know, the concession stands, talked about the Wi-Fi, the bathrooms, and a plethora of different things that, you know, they would like to see improved. And so Commissioner Body, who is the Park and Recreation Board Chair, he created the Legion Field Committee and, you know, graced me to be the chair of that committee. And one of the things that we were able to do 2 weeks ago was vote to make some changes to some of the pricing that we have concerning like the RVs and parking. And, you know, I don't know how many folks know this, but, you know, to park an RV for a day, it was only $35 a day, right?
You're kidding.
Yeah, $35 a day. And, of course, it would be 4 days. And so we were only pulling in $140 for folks to stay for 4 days in an RV for the Classic.
I think a campground charges more than that.
Yeah, but the kicker is none of that money would go towards Legion Field.
It all goes into the general
General fund, right.
to pay for all the other stuff we do for free.
Yeah, so that money would go towards the general fund. And so the money from RVs, the money from tickets, the money from daily parking, none of that went towards, you know, Legion Field. And so the Legion Field Committee made the decision that, number one, we wanted to increase the price of RV parking. So we went from $35 a day to $100 a day. Now, that price may, alarm some people, may shock them. But one of the things that we did not want to do is we didn't want to nickel and dime people over the years, right? And just continue to go up and up and up each year. And, even at that price, it still is,
A bargain.
yeah, it's still lower than what you might pay at some other venue. And so we increased the price, but now 50% of what we take in from revenue will now go directly towards Legion Field. So the city is still able to have that money to go towards the general fund, but now Legion Field, oh, that's interesting.
Well, that is interesting.
You don't know your own strength.
I'm blind now.
But now a portion of that money is able to go towards Legion Field for those things that are dealing with maintenance. And so there were other things that, we were able to accomplish as well in terms of, daily parking, changing the price for those, and making sure that, again, a lot of those funds or that revenue would then go to being able to directly impact the things that need to be maintenance at Legion Field. And so,
Well, so can the park board just make that decision by themselves because nobody else has been able to? They have to have legal agreements with the city and everything to take money from the general fund or to not have the money go to the general fund. So can they just make that decision?
So I know that is something that, we have, as a board, just kind of put out there because that's what, we would like to have done. And so I think with the decision that we've made, then I want to say that there will be an opportunity for us to kind of, review that. I know that that's something that was even put forward in the budget hearings in terms of, the plans and.
Okay, so the mayor and his team already know about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So they have already been made aware, and again,
Because
that's
it took at least 2 years for the zoo to get the agreement to be able to keep some of the money from their gift shop. 2 years. But maybe Park and Rec has special friends.
The main goal is, like I said, just trying to make sure that,
Spend some money on Legion Field.
yeah, we got to. We have to make some significant investments in Legion Field if we want to make sure that not only do we maintain the classic and people's experience of the classic, but also putting ourselves in a position to recruit more events and more activities to take place there as well. We have to have some type of structure, business structure in place that, ensures that we're able to meet the needs of the citizens that we serve there. And so I hate the term gray old lady. I know that that's the, a term of endearment for Legion Field, but it's time for her to have a makeover, y'all. Like
But we don't want it to be the old gray elephant.
yeah, we don't. And so, yeah, we want to be kind to her. So, just wanted to share that update.
Well, that's good to know. I'm happy that you did that because of the way that the Park and Recreation Board was created by the legislature. It's not a city department, but we pay for everything.
Right.
The city pays for everything, so, and all the employees are our employees, but it's different.
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
And so just want to, send a huge shout out to number one director, Shanae Bennett and her team, who are amazing over at Birmingham Park and Recreation. And then the board as well, Chairman Walter Body, Megan Ann Halinga, Scotty McClaney, Patrick Talley, all of these board members, like we all work together and are really trying to do some innovative things to ensure that, not only is Legion Field successful, but all of the parks and recreation centers in our city are getting some TLC and, really getting the utilization that they need and, actively trying to make sure that, you know, the folks in those neighborhoods are pleased with what they have. So just wanted to share that. So with that being said,
I move that we adjourn, well, unless, are you here for a reason?
I'm here on behalf of Jesse Miller, the city engineer. I'm with Capital Projects, the city land acquisition specialist. I've been here a couple times, but.
oh, come up to the mic and just introduce yourself. Yeah, come up to the mic and introduce yourself.
Yes, some of us don't hear as well as we used to.
My name is Morgan McMinn. I am the senior land acquisition specialist under Capital Projects. And I am here in the place of Jesse Miller, the city engineer. So it's good to be here
Okay,
again.
say your name again.
Morgan McMinn, McMinn.
Morgan McMinn, because you can run that together and make it into a whole new word. Morgan McMinn.
Correct.
I'm terrible at names, but I'd like to remember them.
I understand.
And I apologize. My apologies for not acknowledging you before. I know I've seen you in the crowd multiple times, and so that's good to know that we have somebody that's, you know, representative of the city engineer here.
Yes, sir.
So thank you.
Nice to meet you guys.
All right.
Formally.
And we have a city engineer now.
That's
right?
right.
Yes.
I think he's been here maybe 3 months, 3.5 months.
Okay, good. Because I know we went for a long time without one.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and he's come to a couple of our meetings as well.
Yeah.
Especially when we were in the conference room.
I'm sure I'll
D&D.
know him when I see
You
him.
Yes, ma'am.
You will. All right.
Well, cool.
Thank you.
Well, I move for, well, you move
Yeah,
for
I move
adjournment.
for adjournment.
I
and-
second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. We are.